In a world overflowing with noise, where success is too often measured by applause, likes, and public recognition, it's easy to forget the quiet, steady force that shapes true greatness, the power of silent effort. We live in an age addicted to visibility, yet it is behind closed doors, away from cameras and crowds, that the seeds of real achievement are sown. Picture an artist in their dimly lit studio. No audience, no fanfare, just the rhythmic scrape of a brush on canvas. Each stroke layered upon another, not for display, but for perfection itself. The hours blur, the outside world fades into insignificance. In that solitude, a masterpiece slowly emerges, not because of the approval it will eventually receive, but because the artist refuses to settle for less than their best. The artist's quiet persistence mirrors the unwavering dedication of athletes who rise before the sun, lacing up their shoes while the world still sleeps. Their feet hit empty streets, their breath sharp in the cold morning air. No crowd cheers for them as they train. Each drop of sweat, every burning muscle, every sacrifice made in silence is a thread in the fabric of their future victory. When the world finally watches them shine, it is witnessing not just a performance, but the sum of countless invisible hours of effort. Or imagine a scientist, hunched over their desk in the dead of night, eyes weary yet focused. The breakthroughs that change history don't happen in flashes of genius alone. They are built patiently, experiment after experiment, through failed attempts and persistent trial. Their victories are not broadcast until long after the hard, lonely hours have passed. But they come, inevitably, to those who do not give up. Silent effort is not about hiding from recognition. It's about building something so meaningful that it doesn't need applause to validate it. It's about nurturing a mindset rooted in resilience, self-growth, and the long game, rather than instant gratification. Think about how often we feel the pull to share, to prove, to broadcast every achievement, big or small, to the world. Social media feeds demand constant highlights, reinforcing the illusion that progress must always be visible to be real. But the truth is, the most rewarding victories are earned in obscurity. When no one is watching, when no one is clapping, that's when you're building your character, sharpening your skills, and laying the groundwork for success. Take, for example, the humble bamboo tree. In its first few years, it appears almost lifeless. No towering stalks, no visible growth. But beneath the surface, something extraordinary is happening. Its roots are spreading wide and deep, creating an unshakable foundation. Then, suddenly, when the time is right, it surges upward at an astonishing rate. Not because it grew overnight, but because it quietly prepared for years. Our own journeys often follow this hidden rhythm. We labor, we hustle, and we question whether it's all worth it when the results are nowhere in sight. But like the bamboo, those invisible efforts, that unseen grind, is what sets the stage for a breakthrough. Students exemplify this principle perfectly. Nights spent hunched over textbooks, grappling with concepts no one will praise them for understanding. Long hours writing, researching, revising, with no applause at the end. Yet those quiet efforts compound over time, leading to knowledge, confidence, and success that cannot be faked. Entrepreneurs and creators know this too. Behind every successful launch, every celebrated idea, are years of failures, prototypes, and unseen struggle. The crowd only sees the polished product. They don't see the sleepless nights, the risks taken, the doors slammed shut. But it's in those silent battles where true innovation is born. Even personal development follows this rule. The hard work of changing yourself, building discipline, breaking bad habits, overcoming insecurities, is often invisible. No one sees the internal wrestling match. No one claps when you choose growth over comfort. But every quiet, consistent step forward transforms you. And let's not forget mentors. Their guidance often goes unnoticed. Their support offered in whispers, not shouts. They don't mentor for credit. They do it for the quiet satisfaction of seeing someone else flourish because of their unseen encouragement. The common thread running through all these examples is simple, yet profound. True achievement isn't loud. It's built brick by brick in silence, far from the spotlight. The most meaningful rewards, self-mastery, fulfillment, resilience, aren't found in public praise, but in knowing you've done the hard work, regardless of who's watching. In a world obsessed with visibility, we must learn to embrace the invisible, to lean into the quiet grind, trusting that each step, no matter how unnoticed, is moving us forward. Success blooms in the shadows, long before it's recognized in the light. So, as you walk your path, resist the urge to constantly perform for others. Celebrate the quiet days, the unnoticed efforts, the work done without witnesses. Because in the end, it is not the noise of the crowd that defines you. It's the quiet, persistent effort you make when no one's looking. Your success will speak for itself, but first, it must be built in silence.